Are you ready to start the course? We're talking about the 5 P's of podcasting. And the first P we're going to explore today is prep. You have to prep for your podcast. Before you think about what your podcast name is or what episodes you're going to do or the equipment you're going to buy, get all of that out of your head, at least for now. I promise we're going to get to that in a little bit. But right now, I want you to think about podcasting in general. This is another marketing channel for many of you, and you do have to invest time and energy into it. So you have to know what's going on in the podcasting space. Now, in future videos, we're going to talk a little bit about your format and how your show is going to stack, right? You know, what do listeners experience once they push that play button? So right now we're going to do a little bit of research. You ready? Here's what I want you to do. We are going to discover new podcasts. Well, how do we do that? Some of you may be thinking, I have never even listened to a podcast before. How on earth am I going to discover new podcasts? This is important to know because as a podcaster, people are going to ask you, how do I listen to your show? This is great practice for you. So here's the tip. For those of you on iOS, and so that could be, iPhone, that could be your iPad, you have a podcast app that is literally built into your iPhone. Yeah, it's in one of those folders you probably created that's like, why did Apple put this on my phone? Yeah, I'll just stuff it in this folder. So if you can't find it, check that folder first. It's a purple icon, it says podcast. What I want you to do is find a podcast app you like. You're more than welcome to use the Apple Podcast app if it's already built in on your phone. And I'm also gonna give you a list of other podcast apps that you might enjoy. So be sure to download that document and take a look at that. So here is my iPhone, okay? That purple podcast app that I was telling you about, yep, we're gonna go ahead and click on that. Okay, now I have already subscribed to shows in the past, but yours may look a little bit differently when you first log in. Go down to the bottom, see the magnifying glass. I want you to click on search. And this is the best way to search for podcasts. If you already know that there's some podcasts out there that you may want to explore, this is how you would search. Another way that you can find podcasts is by going to the browse button. Now, don't select only shows that have been highlighted in Apple because trust me, there are over 1 million podcasts in Apple Podcasts right now, and most of those shows aren't being featured. But this is a good way to kind of scroll through and see what is out there. So let's say you find one that you like. I like this Last Day by Lemonada Media. So I'm gonna click that. And do you see that purple subscribe button at the top? You're gonna click that. And voila, you are subscribed to a podcast. You are gonna do that 4 more times in whatever podcast app you prefer. So that's how you subscribe to a podcast. Now, what do you do after you subscribed? Well, you're gonna start to get some notifications when they publish new episodes. Whenever you would normally listen to music or the radio, I want you to instead listen to a podcast that you subscribe to. And I want you to do this for the next 30 days. So don't worry, you'll be able to listen to music down the road. I'm not gonna take away your music forever. But guys, I cannot tell you how important this is. When you start listening to other people's podcasts, that's OPP for all you old school people out there, other people's podcasts, you learn really quickly from a listener's perspective what you like and what you don't like. And you're gonna take that information and down the road, as we start to talk about your show format, you're gonna incorporate that information into your show. Because you should create a show that you would wanna listen to. That's kind of the rule number 1, right? Don't create a podcast that even you wouldn't listen to. Because if you won't listen to it, your mom's not gonna listen to it, your friends aren't gonna listen to it, right? So always think about things from a listener perspective. That will go a long way in podcasting. So you're gonna subscribe to the shows, you're gonna listen to them whenever you would normally listen to music, and you're gonna do that for your first 30 days. I can't tell you how many times I've been listening to another show that's completely outside the genre of podcast that I typically create, and I've been able to get some really good information from that. Oh, I like the way they toss to a break. Oh, I like how they introduce their guests. You know, there's just a million different things. I like how they did their theme song. Or, perhaps more importantly, oh my gosh, this show is bad. They don't even know what they're talking about. What is the point of this episode? They're just bantering. When are you going to get to the topic? These are things that you're going to notice, but I want you to approach this as a podcast listener. Okay, that's your homework. Have fun, guys.